This is an update on Arma Design Studio version 1.2.68. This release includes a preliminary version of a DXF import. If you select from the file menu, import DXF, and choose a file, it will load the scene. It includes the folders with each of the items. This is preliminary. A lot of the features in a DXF are not correctly supported. The dimensions with the text, annotation, size, offset, location is not going to be accurate. Some of the curve features might not be correct. Some of the 3D polygon surfaces are probably not correct. If you use DXF, send us a note and we'll update features as requested. Another new feature in ADS, especially for getting started, is a focus help hint. So if I add a component to the screen, this cube, for example, and I zoom out, pan outside of the view, rotate, or lose orientation and can't find my scene, this tool hint will pop up and tell me to use the focus tool to bring the scene back into view. So the focus tool is down in the footer bar. If I click on the tool, it will bring the scene. Otherwise, I can click on one of the objects from the tool menu and it will bring that selected object into view. A new feature is the escape key. When adding new features, if you have an object selected, it will, in many cases, by default, add the new feature as a child of the selected object. This allows you to add objects in large scenes quickly so that you don't have to add an object and then in the file, in the object list, drag them as a child. So in this case, the help hint displays the parent object. So if I click on a new shape, it's going to add the sphere as a child of the cube. Now, sometimes you may not want to add an object to the selected item. In that case, sometimes you can click once on the scene to deselect and then drag. Otherwise, you can also now hit the escape key and it will deselect the object, and now you can add a new one and it will add it to the root of the scene. So the new feature is you can hit the escape key and deselect the current selection. If I add cuts, so I'm going to add hints, and I'm also going to add bend markers. Add bend markers. So you can see all of the features. There's one of the bend markers, bend marker. There have been some bug fixes to the fabricate tool. In the account settings, you can enter your information. And when you generate a quote with the fabrication system, it will prompt for your specific pricing information and the information for the recipient of the quote. I can put in my price. I'm going to charge $10 for a notch, $12 for a bend, $14 for a weld. Tax rate is 14 based on the customer's location. The shipping is 120. I'm going to look that up, and then an invoice number that I enter. Load the invoice, and it will generate the pricing, the materials, the services, the totals, and then it will include the notching instructions so the customers can see what materials are included, as well as the fabricators can use these as instructions or validation when building a project. And that's it for this release.